Right guys, in this video we're going to have a look at how we find the upper and lower bound after a number has been rounded. Now I'm a fan of using this method where we draw a line and we put 3 points or 3 lines going through it. The number that has been rounded goes in the middle. We round it down, we round it up, and then the lower bound will be in between the round down and the number, and the upper bound would be between the number and the round up. Let's go through a few examples and see how we get on. So the first one here, 30 has been rounded to the nearest 10. So 30 is my number, so I'm going to put that in the middle, and it's been rounded to the nearest 10. So I'm looking at that one there, the 3 is the 10s there. So if I was to round it down, it would go down 1 and it would have been 20. And if I was to round up, that would have gone up 1 and it would have been 40. Okay, now to find the lower bound, I just go in the middle. So what's in the middle of 20 and 30? Well, it's 25. And for the upper bound, I go in the middle of the number and the upper bound, in which case is 35. So the upper bound is 25. Sorry, the lower bound is 25, the upper bound is 35. And we can draw something or write it as an error interval. Now all that means is you've got the lower bound, and we use our inequality signs here. Okay, and we say that x is bigger than 25, but it can also be equal to 25, because if it was 25 and we round to the nearest 10, we would get up to 30. So we say that x is bigger or equal to or greater or equal to 25. And x is less than 35. This time I can't have it equals to, because if it was 35 it would be rounded up to 40. So basically everything below 35, as long as it's above this 25, will round to 30. So x just represents a number between 25 and 35, and everything in between there rounds to 30. So that was a nice easy one. Let's make it a little bit trickier. 23 has been rounded to the nearest whole number, so 23 is my number. This time, if it's been rounded to the nearest whole number, I'm looking at the 3 in the units column there. Rounding down would give me 22, rounding up would give me 24. Going in the middle then, that would be 22.5. Going in the middle would be 23.5. So lower bound, upper bound, and again, writing it as an error interval, I would have 22.5 is less than or equal to x, and x is less than or equal, sorry, no, just less than 23.5. So the error interval here, any number in between 22.5 and 23.5 will round to the 23. Decimal points now, let's have a look at this one then. So this one here, 60.4 has been rounded to 1 decimal place. That's my number, so that's going in the middle. And 1 decimal place is obviously the 4 there. So rounding down would give me 60.3. Rounding up would give me 60.5. And again, just go in the middle. So that would be 60.35. And this one here would be 60.45. Again, lower bound, upper bound. You can write the error interval as 60.35 is less than or equal to x, which is less than the 60.45. Another decimal point one. This time it's to 2 decimal places. So I've got 3.73. That's my number. So 3.73. Second decimal place. I'm looking at the second decimal place there, which is that second 3. Rounding down, 3.72. Rounding up, 3.74. Going in the middle, 3.725, 3.735. And don't forget your error interval then, so 3.725 is less than or equal to x, which is less than the upper bound, which is 3.735. So that's some whole numbers, nearest tens, decimal places, significant figures. This one always seems to trip people up. Let's give it a go. 500 has been rounded to 1 significant figure, so my number is 500. Now the first significant figure is the first non-zero number, in which case the 5 is the first significant figure. So if I was to have rounded down, it would have been 400, and then up would have been 600. In the middle, I'm going to have 450 for the lower bound, upper bound, 550. And again, your error interval, 450 is less than or equal to x, which is less than to 550. And last example here, 1300 or 1300 to two significant figures. So that's my number, two significant figures. So that's this. The 1 is the first non-zero, so that's the first significant figure, which means the second significant figure must be the 3. In which case, if I round down, 1200, round up, 1400, go in the middle, 1250, 1350 for the upper bound, and your error interval, that always stays the same, just the upper and lower bound that changes, like so. Okay, so hopefully using this method of your number in the middle, draw yourself a nice line, round down, round up, go in the middle for the lower bound and upper bound, and if you stick to that, no matter what it is, you should get it right. Hopefully that's useful. Cheers, guys.